All right, good evening, Springs BOE. We're live, we're being recorded, we're streaming on YouTube. You may begin.
Great, thank you very much, LTV. Good evening, everybody. It is 6:20. We're going to start our meeting. I'm happy to announce that prior to this meeting, we did not have executive session for a change, which was nice. So at this time, Vicki, would you do attendance, please?
Sure. In attendance tonight is Barbara Dayton, Eric Fredrickson, Emma Field, and Patrick Brabant. And absent is Kate Saris.
Thank you very much. If we could all rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you very much, everybody, and thank you for being here at our final meeting of the year. We have a number of people to celebrate. So would you care to start ball rolling?
Absolutely. This is really my favorite Board of Ed meeting to recognize everybody. First up is our Special Olympiads, and I will ask Whitney to come up. We have a video to show as well, some slides. Whitney is the powerhouse behind our Olympics, participating really across the island. She'll tell you where they were for snowshoeing.
I know. The first time I heard they were snowshoeing, I couldn't believe it. And
Bowling is in the event.
Everyone, thank you for coming to see us today. I'm going to tell you. Okay. I would just like to introduce my Special Olympic athletes. They're slowly straggling in here. This year, our Special Olympics team participated in 3 events. We participated in snowshoeing up in Fort Washington. We participated in our bowling tournament in Riverhead, which Spring School hosts and runs and is responsible for. And then we just finished up this past May at our track and field event in Plainedge. So we do a lot of miles for Special Olympics and travel all over to compete. We have 6 athletes on our team this year. We have Charlie Fay here with us right now, representing all his medals that he won this year. He did a great job. Here in the back there, who also won lots of medals this year. We have Cameron Meganson, who participated in all 3 events. We have Tyler Villa, who participated in all 3 events, and we have Matthew Cheekwee, who participated in all 3 events, and Benjamin Vivas, who's our newest member, also participated in 2 of the events because he started here later on. Special Olympics is a wonderful organization. Our students really enjoy it. I would like to thank the staff members here at Spring School. As you all know, it's a strictly volunteer opportunity. We run the program without any budget costs to the school, us all on donations, and all of the staff members that help us run the events do it on their own time. So Saturday practices, after school practices at the beach in the middle of February for snowshoeing, traveling all the way to Plainedge to participate in a track and field event. It's all done in their time. So a couple of names would be Mrs. Lavanda, Mrs. Pantol, who is here tonight, Ms. Doyle, Coach Caladito, Mrs. Philibar, Mrs. Lappin. I could go on and on, but those are my top crew that helps us get this show on the road every week. So thank you again. And Charlie, you have anything you want to say about Special Olympics? Is it fun?
Yes,
it's fun. Did you like it?
Yeah.
And what do you have on your neck there?
Nah.
What are you wearing today? What are these?
Medals.
Your medals. Yeah, you did a really good job this year. So next year we'll be adding probably 3 to 4 more athletes. So our team continues to grow. And thank you for these wonderful certificates. We got it to all of my athletes. And thank you again for everyone's support.
Thank you, Wendy.
Thank you, Whitney. Mr. King.
Hi, everyone. Good to see you. Tonight, I want to acknowledge 2 different groups of students. The first three were three student athletes that we had that were asked to play up at the varsity level and run track. So I was able to have their coaches write a little something about each of them, since I'm not really able to see what they do on a day-to-day basis. So the first athlete is Lily Wood, and Coach Questa wrote, Lily competed in the high jump, 100 meter, 200 meter, and was a member of the 4x1 relay C squad. She is a young athlete with a lot of potential who has already contributed a lot to the success of our varsity squad. We look forward to watching her grow and succeed in our sport. As she builds more strength, we see her becoming an even more integral part of the team. Her personal records in each individual event she participated in are high jump, 4 feet 2 inches, 15.01 seconds in the 100, 31.47 seconds in the 200. And we are super proud of all that Lily has accomplished. So Lily, come on up.
Bring it back.
Do you want all three?
Yeah.
All right, Lily, you come on. Stand over there until all three of you guys come. Coach Knight was the boys varsity track coach, and he wrote about Jasper that as an 8th grader, Jasper contributed to points in many of our meets. He ended the season placing 8th overall in the 800 out of all freshmen in Suffolk County. Jasper also placed 2nd in the East End Classic in the freshman sophomore 800 and 3rd in the freshman sophomore 1600. We are looking forward to a great future for this young athlete. Jasper, come on up. And Watts Comley was our 3rd athlete at the varsity. Watts also contributed right away to the track team, scoring points for us in individual events and in relays as well. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to compete in the freshman sophomore meeting where he would have done quite well. At our East End Classic, he placed 6th overall in the freshman sophomore 800, as well as 6th overall in the freshman sophomore 1600. Kevin Barry, the cross-country varsity coach, is very excited to have Watts and Jasper join them in the fall. Watts, come on up.
Thank you for all your organization.
Of course, yeah, we were very fortunate this year. We had, to have anybody be asked to come up to the varsity level. We had 3 athletes in the fall and now 3 again in the spring. So it's just shows what kind of athletes we have here at the school. And on top of that, all of our sports teams that we had this year, the majority had winning seasons. So we really had a good year as far as athletics go.
John also asked if we could recognize some special students that help out in PE.
Yes, so this all started, this next group of students, back in probably late October, early November. We started to have this group of 7th grade and 1 8th grade student come into our PE classes, 4th period, which is their lunch and recess. So they would quickly eat their lunch and they would come down and they would ask, can we help out in the gym? Usually we have kindergarten, 1st, 2nd grade during that time. And first you think, all right, maybe they're trying to get out of the cold. It's starting to get cold now because we've had that in years past. But this group has come every single day, giving up their recess to help out these students. It's been really amazing. A lot of them even, they go home and I don't know if they come up with their own ideas, but they'll ask to teach the class, almost like having a bunch of student teachers. They come up with their own games for the kids and want to do different tag games. They help all the kids, especially some of the ones that, maybe a little afraid in there or, maybe aren't fitting in well with some of their classmates. So they kind of bond with them. And I felt that it would be great if for them to be recognized with certificates of service. So when I call your name, come on up. Samantha Weston Rios.
All over there, we're gonna take one big group picture.
Isabella Villa. These two. I know we have a couple that they were either getting ready for their play performance or had sports. Skylar Goulard. Aurora Brussel. Jaylene Garcia. And the other three that weren't here, Callie Yamakuchi, Lucas Gonzalez, and Lucy Knight. So they were the other three that.
Think when you get in there.
Thank you, sure.
Come on, guys.
If you'd like, you want to open it, huh?
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
Team. Every year, we have students participate in the New York Association for Pupil Transportation poster contest. I asked Mrs. Bach to come up. This year, we had really impressive winners. Vicki, if you can put that slide up of the pictures that everybody can see the winning ones. Thank you for doing this, Mrs. Bach.
Of course. So the New York Association for Pupil Transportation offers a poster contest each year. This year's theme was driving safely into the future. We had 2 spring students as winners in their division. This is Jessica Cruz's poster. She won first place in Suffolk County, as well as second place in the entirety of New York State. So that's her amazing poster right there. And then this is Giancarlo's poster, also amazing. He won second place for Suffolk County. And they did a really great job. They worked really hard on this and put a lot of time and effort into these posters. And I'm really proud of them. So. I don't think Jessica's here. Here's your certificate and your, yeah, you post, here, let me give you your poster.
Get in there, Mrs. Bach.
Good evening. It is an honor to be among such amazing students, truly, and a privilege to celebrate them and their educators who helped them receive some of these awards. What you're seeing tonight is just a small little bit of the amazing things that occur each and every day, day in, day out here at Spring School. So we're here to celebrate some great student achievements, and the next one that comes up is our 8th grade students participate in a poetry contest. And we have some very special news that Ms. O'Reilly is going to share about that.
Back to the students. So for the second year in a row, all of our 8th grade students participated in the Walt Whitman Birthplace Poetry Contest. And once again, for the second year, one of our spring students was recognized for his excellent work. Ariel Ruggiero, I have a lot more to say about you, was awarded an honorable mention award for his poem Dense Air. This is an exceptional honor, especially since there were over 4,000 submissions. Ariel and his family and I attended the award ceremony on May 5th on the beautiful grounds of the Walt Whitman Birthplace Museum in Huntington. The theme of the entries was inspired by the Walt Whitman poem Song of the Open Road. Students were asked to use their poetic voice to take us on an adventure, your adventure. Ariel, who's already a novice pilot, wrote about his passion for flying and the adventures that await him in the air. We'd like to congratulate Ariel on his astounding achievement.
Yes.
Next up, Ms. O'Reilly's not going too far, will be recognition of our 8th grade speeches. Ms. Carney and I were able to judge them, which was one of the most difficult tasks I've ever faced in my life. Our students went up there, their speeches were not only educational, accurate, on point, but their presentation skills were just so amazing for the young audience, and boy, were we impressed. So without any further ado, Ms. O'Reilly again.
So each year, the 8th graders complete a research project. And the objective is for the students to use their voices to speak out on a social justice issue. The students choose their own topic, research that topic, create a persuasive presentation similar to a TED Talk. And it's a massive undertaking. All of the students present in class, and from that pool, the elite 8 are chosen. And those students spend countless hours revising and perfecting their work. And all of this culminates in this competition that was held in the evening, and we were lucky to have parents attend, and we have judges from within the school and outside the school. And every year at the finals, I always say the same thing. I'm always so grateful to be part of a school community that not only allows students to express themselves, but encourages it. And I feel really, really blessed to be part of a community like that. And this encourages students to use their voices to fight for change, and their topics were bold and audacious. And I'd like to recognize all of our finalists. So if you could just stand if you're here tonight. Some of them have dress rehearsal tonight, so they couldn't make it, but if you could just stand. Sorry. Cadence Page spoke about animal testing. Sada spoke about menstrual equality. Tonight spoke about the need for research and drug accessibility for people with rare diseases. Dowski spoke on the need for new evaluation standards for individuals with eating disorders. Menez spoke on the mental stress placed on student athletes. And in third place, we award first, second, and third. And in third place, we had Alexa Schaefer, who spoke on the gender pay gap in sports. Second place went to Liam Beckert, who spoke on the link between gun violence and mental health disorders. First place was awarded to Danette Gonzalez. She spoke on the rancid reality of factory farms. Very much, and it's really an honor to work with these students. Thank
you, Ms. O'Reilly, for your amazing job. Next up, and before we get into that valedictorian, salutatorian, I do want to say that on Thursday at 7 o'clock will be our school play over at East Hampton High School. There's a few guarantees in the world. One of them is being that this play is going to blow your minds. It's going to be absolutely amazing. Our students will impress you for sure. I'm hoping that we have some more of these folks here but if they're not here, they're at the play or they're at sports. So first off, I would like to recognize our valedictorians. We have 2 valedictorians this year. They were very, very close, but their hard work, their dedication to their academics is unparalleled. So great job. I want to first introduce Gabriela Alvarado. Gabriela is, let's get a round of applause. We also have Watts Comley. Watts, you are here. Come on. Great job. Thank you for your hard work. We're going to have certificates, celebrations at graduation. So yeah, you can stay there. We have to get some photos. Don't go too far. You will be recognized again at graduation. You'll get your certificates and everything, but congratulations there. I know the hard work that went into this, and we're so proud of you. Salutatorians, we have Danette Gonzalez, who I believe is also not present, so let's get a round of applause. We have Cadence Page, come on up. Over there, our 2 representatives.
Great job.
Really, our amazing students. They're going to continue this into high school and put in that extra work and shine, and we look to see you in a few short years up there at East Hampton getting these same awards or very similar. We're going to switch gears a little to one of our committees. This next committee is the Diversity Club. Ms. Firemart has put in so much time and effort as well. The story and the visuals that you'll see throughout this presentation coming up, this group has done so many amazing things in our school community and the community at large. So without any further ado, Ms. Firemart, you want to come on out? Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Kell. First, I'd like to say thank you for having us here and giving us the opportunity to present and share some of the things that we were able to do this school year. Aside from handing out the awards, I'd like to just say thank you to everyone for their support, the whole Board of Ed and administrators. We had a fantastic year. These kids are absolutely amazing. I've never been so exhausted in my life because I really just said, what do you want to do? Here are some things, some great topics, and what would you like to do with it? And boy, oh boy, did they take those topics and run with it. And you'll see in the presentation more of what we're talking about. Unfortunately, many of the kids couldn't make it because they too are in rehearsal, right? The big night's coming up, in addition to some being on the swim team, and they are, forgive me, synchronized swim, and they have a competition on Friday. So they may be coming in, but we'll share all of their names and accolades, I think perhaps after we get to hear a little bit of their work this year.
Diversity Club, 2023 to 2024. In September and October, we focus on Hispanic Heritage Month. We each chose a person of Hispanic descent to research. We learned about their childhood, education, and their incredible contributions. During our research, we took a trip to the Long Island Museum to see the exhibit So Was We Are. This exhibit included artwork from local Latinx artists from Montauk to Brooklyn. At the end of our unit, we shared our research through the posters we created from the newly acquired knowledge. And of course, we celebrated with some delicious, authentic Hispanic food. In November, we focused on kindness and the act of giving. World Kindness Day was Monday, November 13th. This was our first ever school-wide initiative. We asked all of the classrooms, pre-K through 8th, to create kindness chains filled with positive affirmations, kind acts they completed, and kind words about someone in the school. Then we hung them around the school to show that we are all connected. In addition, we held the Kindness Bake Sale for the Spring's Food Pantry. It was a huge success. We were able to raise over $700. Did I mention we gave everyone in the building a lollipop and thanked them for all they do? That was so special. In December, we learned about holidays around the world. We started researching Judaism. We learned about Hanukkah and how it's celebrated differently here in versus Israel. We visited the Jewish Center of the Hamptons and met with the rabbi and cantor. They were so welcoming and shared some history with us. We also enjoyed some jelly donuts and the dreidel game during Hanukkah. Then we researched Kwanzaa. We discussed the 7 principles and made a Kwanzaa apology. Lastly, we shared about our Christmas traditions. We made Christmas cards, ornaments, and played ring around the reindeer game. In January, our focus was on being of service in honor of Martin Luther King Jr. Day of Service. We brainstormed ways we could be of service at home, in school, and within our community. Some of us did beach cleanups, donated books to teachers in the elementary grades, donated old clothing, provided food for the little free food pantries, made signs with positive affirmations and hung them around school, and volunteered at art. Also, our club went to Pussy's Pond and did our first ever little beach cleanup. In February, the Diversity Club ran the inaugural sneaker drive partnered with GotSneakers.com as a continuation of our acts of service from January. Students, faculty, staff, family, and community members were invited to donate their old sneakers to this wonderful cause. Depending on the condition of the sneakers, our school received compensation. Sneakers in excellent condition earned us $7, good condition $2, and fair condition $1. These sneakers were then recirculated to secondhand markets so people could access quality, pre-owned footwear at affordable prices. Well-loved or worn-out sneakers were reused for materials or completely recycled. Nothing ended up in our landfills. We're proud to say that 126 pairs of sneakers were displaced from landfills, 3,780 pounds of carbon dioxide was displaced, and we saved 284,382 gallons of water. In addition, we raised $99. We also learned about and celebrated the Lunar New Year and Super Bowl. In March, our focus was the World's Fair. We brainstormed fun activities for the event, made posters, and volunteered at various stations for the event. The turnout was awesome. We had over 20 countries represented between food tables, artifacts, and activities/performances. In April, we learned about Earth Day. Did you know that first Earth Day was celebrated in 1970s? Or that Earth Day is also called International Mother's Day. In honor of Earth Day, we planted seeds and were able to take our plants home once they were big enough. Some of us cleaned up litter in our neighborhood and at the local beaches too. In May, we focused on Older Americans Month. We invited our grandparents and older members of the Springs and East Hampton communities to come into our school for a middle school night. We got to know one another, had delicious snacks, and played some fun games like Jenga, Uno, and Connect 4. Have you ever played Mexican chain dominoes? If not, you should check it out. It's a lot of fun.
In June, we marched in the 3rd annual Hamptons Pride Parade. SPG for Unity was the chant of the day. We also had some great projects running throughout the school year. We assisted in kindergarten and 1st grade classrooms during their centers time. We learned, we learned about diversities within the classroom. We led games, completed read-alouds, helped with writing activities, and even assisted during dismissal times. Another project was peer mentoring. The Diversity Club students worked with a student who was new to the school and country. They had snacks together and played games, helping her to feel more welcome and a part of spring school. We also worked with another girl from Miss Payne's class. She was the only girl in her class, so she loved getting the chance to hang out and play a couple weeks ago. We raised funds for ARF because a 5th grade student was inspired by our acts of service and she wanted to be of service to ARF. She worked together to raise $612.
As you can see, we have had an exciting year filled with lots of great activities. We have a lot in store for next year too, which brings us to our proposals. Our first proposal is to plant a weeping willow at the front of the school in the large circle of grass within the car loop. As the tree grows, we'd like to have benches underneath so that students can go there with their teachers to read books in the shade of the tree. We would ask for the tree, its planting, and the materials for the benches to be donated. Our second proposal is for the school to accept the donations from Caputo Carving Incorporated of 57-gallon bins and 2 64-gallon wheeled bins. We are hoping to bring back the recycling program to spring school that was in place prior to COVID. Classrooms would have the smaller bins in their classrooms for collection of bottles and papers. Each classroom would empty their bin into the larger bins, located centrally for all classrooms to be able to easily access. Then, Mrs. Pantal's class would bring the bottles for redemption to the IGA and the paper to the recycling center. Students from the Diversity Club would like to be able to assist with this endeavor whenever possible. We'd like to take this moment to say thank you to the Board of Education and to all of our administrators for all of your support. We wouldn't have been able to do all these things without your encouragement and your approvals, and we thank you for that. And again, to all the families and the support of their students and helping make their visions a success.
Actually just created this video version of the slideshow because there were so many conflicts with the student schedules. As you saw, 2 of them just came in, a little bit of wet hair, but they made it. I'm so happy for them. And we figured this was a way in which everyone's voice could still be heard. And that was really important because their voice is what led this program all year. So we felt like this was a great compromise. Everyone's still a part of it. And without further ado, if I may, I'd love to call them up and recognize the students that are here tonight. So please join me up front. Use your hand. And we have some friends that weren't able to make it tonight. I'd like to share their names because they're still in rehearsal. We have Maria Calderon, Rafa DeMartes, Iris O'Brien, and Brooke Schellinger.
There's nothing better than a student-run club. That's the whole idea behind clubs, is to have it student-run, and you have allowed them to run. Thank you, Mrs. Bonner. Thank you.
Get a picture? You want to give them this? Yes, thank you. You have to just stand up here. Giancarlo. You're welcome.
Open them up, guys. Fire mark, get in there. Thank you.
Thank you.
And then Ryan is coming around with a gift of gratitude to say thank you. The kids made everyone buttons. So where it was from. Thank you very much. You're welcome. Thank you.
It's really wonderful being able to be at this meeting and watch all of our student successes when our students get to come and participate in the meeting or present. And seeing our collection of athletes and poets and artists and scholars is just, it's, you know, very meaningful and very gratifying for us to share in those accomplishments, because we're in here, you know, a couple of times a month and we, you know, approve some things or whatever, but seeing the results of things that we do for our students is really wonderful. So thank you for being here.
Well, we have about 5 minutes before PTA is expected to be here. I know Jane, I saw Jane Portman, but I don't think the entire executive board is here yet.
Okay.
And I told Mrs. Bickley to be here at 7, as well as our other honored guests. So
we're taking a 5-minute recess, or what?
or do you want to do some business?
Or we could just go do some business. Yes.
Okay.
So,
We can actually do a tenure recommendation because I see Cynthia Pinto here with her entire family.
Right,
Do
let's
that.
hop into that, yes.
Cynthia, would you come up to the podium? Recognize. We're very fortunate to have Cynthia with us. She's a special ed teacher who came to us with extensive experience working with autistic children from DDI. She's board certified behavior analysis, which requires extensive training and hours of work. She is such an asset to us in the school, not just for our students, but for our staff, for our administration. This is her expertise, not ours. We didn't train like she did. So she's just such a valued member of the spring school. And I am just so thrilled to be able to recommend her for tenure this evening. And her entire family is here. Cynthia, would you like to introduce them?
My son Sam, my husband Ron, and my daughter Molly.
Just that trying to remember who gets what. These mugs are made by a student with special needs, Katie. Take a photograph? Yes. Thank you, Pat. The whole family.
We have our other tenure.
We have one. Is Sharon here? And Rosa could not be with us. Rosa Carpenter-Rubla is a native speaking Spanish teacher and a wonderful addition to our school. She unfortunately couldn't be with us this evening. She prides herself on incorporating hands-on manipulative activities. She works well with her colleagues. She loves Mrs. Angula. They're just like two peas in a pod. She loves to make learning really, there he is, practical. Our lessons are well planned and fast paced. I've observed in there and I'm like trying to keep up. And I recommend, as we affectionately call her, Mrs. G, for tenure without any reservation. Are you here with family?
I am.
It is really my pleasure to recommend Darren for tenure in the area of special education. He started here at Springs as a substitute. I always held my breath that he would continue because of the commute. He works well with his colleagues in the inclusive environment. He's at the middle school level. Yes, East Hampton has poached him for sports and coaching only. He goes on all the junior high field trips. He's like a little sponge. The kids are just attracted to hang out with him. He's participated in our fundraisers here, the basketball fundraiser, and even brought his brother, the pro football player, which our kids get really excited about. Ethan finds time to visit us at Springs. So I am like thrilled to be able to recommend him for tenure coach. Right over there. Are you family up?
I've heard so much about you.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. I'm so glad you were here.
That's wonderful. It's always a pleasure to invite new permanent staff members here into the school. Clearly, the administration thinks very highly of you, and we're delighted that you're joining us.
Thank you very much.
Go back to PTA.
Yes. Okay.
And now I saw Jane Portman. Before, is anybody else here from the board?
Yes.
Okay, who else is here?
So I'm joined by some members of the board. Maybe you guys can come up. Unfortunately, a lot of parents have some sports conflicts today, but
Yes,
we did what we could.
we have Maria.
Maria is not here today.
Okay.
unfortunately.
Allison? She?
No, she's not here.
Okay. Summer Romeo?
No.
I'm gonna give these all to you. And Shelby, I don't see.
I will take all of them.
Okay, you'll take all.
But we do have members of our expense, so that's the executive committee. We have members of our executive board here. And actually, before I give an update, I would love it if I can invite Casey and Leah to give a quick update about the Springs Mystery Art Sale.
Oh, sure, that'd be great.
Hi, everyone. I'm Leah Malaturno. My son James is in kindergarten this year at Springs, and my daughter will be in pre-K next year. I was the artist liaison helping Casey on the sale this year. And first, we wanted to start off with some thank yous. We first wanted a huge thank you to all the students who generously contributed their artworks to the sale. We had 650 student artworks, pre-K through 8th grade. Also like to thank the Spring School Art Department, Mrs. Marino and Mrs. Bach, for making space in the curriculum to produce these works and to get them to us. First, we need to thank the incredibly generous professional artists in our community who contributed over 200 works to the 5x7 sale and 24 works to the silent auction. Ashwad Hall and the Springs Improvement Society for generously donating the space. Some of our business partners were SMS Corner Shop. They were our drop-off location for the community artists. Telemark Construction for their wood donation to our display boards, which Casey made by hand. 30 of them. Very impressive. Ocean Graphics for their help with signage, and Golden Eagle for the summer camp auction. We get summer camp auction item, and Nancy Rowan's moral support. She was one of the original founders of the show, and if we ever had a question, we would text her and she'd get back to us very quickly. So we really appreciate all the community and help from the school. So thank you.
I'm the Arts Education Chair of the PTA, and I chaired the Springs Mystery Art Sale event this year. I was very lucky to have the blessing of the previous parents who had begun the sale 6 years ago, and was really happy to take it on for this year and moving forward. Excited to announce that our gross income from the sale was $17,000. Yay! All the funds raised will go towards arts programming at spring school, field trips, and more. PTA will be working with the arts department here to designate the funds. I just want to say thank you. We got a lot of lovely press coverage in Dan's papers, East Hampton Star, Hamptons.com, 27 East, and James Lane Post. So thank you to all those lovely press outlets for covering this sale for us. I think that the strength of the sale is a real testament to the art history of Springs and our really strong art community in Springs. And the participants, people that came and shopped the sale and bought work, were not only involved with the school, parents and families, but also year-round residents of the community that do not have children in the school or do not work at the school, which was lovely to see, as well as seasonal residents. There was a lot of seasonal visitors to the sale to support and who really want to be involved moving forward. So that was an amazing testament to our community. And I think we saw on a larger, broader scheme that with the budget vote this year going through and success of events like this, that the Springs community is really behind us. So that felt really great. And I was really proud to be a part of that. So thank you, everyone.
Okay, I'll try to keep this short. What an amazing way to end the school year with the Springs Mystery Art Sale. As someone who, you know, has been here for 4 years, so I really haven't seen like what this used to be. And my understanding is that it was a really, you know, special event that happened every single year. I couldn't be more excited to be part of sort of the re-envisioned, you know, version of it, and we're really excited to keep it going. So we started the year, I think, new, right? New administration, new PTA board. I can't believe it was almost a year ago. We were all meeting in August and introducing ourselves to each other. And I think that what we accomplished this year in partnership together has been immense. We've raised $150,000 for our students. We've spent, you know, close to 70% of it. And what we did this year, and this is just a highlight, you know, we obviously have our student support. We're really excited that we were able to sort of expand our scope into providing more engagement for our pre-K grade. We would really like to replicate some of that with the self-contained classrooms. We're gonna try to allocate, or we did allocate some funds for a sort of like a stepping up ceremony. We want to work with the staff and the teachers to do more things like that. We would actually love to replicate what we did for pre-K for every other grade. We love supporting the middle school, the fall and the spring dances. We're excited that we brought back Bucksfield State Night and sort of had like a pause year last year. And then obviously the field trips. And we're excited that a lot of our students got to experience places like the Museum of Natural History, Ellis Island, but also like great local trips, Golden Eagle, Amber Waves. We're excited to sort of give those funds to the grades next year, and for the teachers and the staff to be able to have the flexibility to do what they think is, you know, right for their students. And I think what we love most is like always saying yes when we get, you know, asked to sort of support. I think that's sort of the best part of the gig. We also had some community building events with the back to school barbecue. And then all of the fundraisers that happened last year. You know, we had record high number of PTA members join the PTA. We do the fall and the spring book fairs, you know, partially a fundraiser, but you know, it's really for the students. And the spring book fair is really, it's not, you know, it's something that we sort of net even on, but we love that we were sort of grandfathered in and can bring that back every spring. The turkey trot, we set a record last year for what we raised, and a lot of that was, you know, obviously participation, but it's really the community that shows up that day to just essentially sign checks to say you have our support. The Mystery Art Sale we just talked about, our annual fundraiser, Springs Break. Thank you for showing up, Mr. Kelp. That was amazing to see you. And I think, like, you know, I think that's really special that we can have a community where we are together off school hours also, right? Anyway, I can go on, but I just want to thank, like, this year would not have been possible, obviously, without the support of the amazing PTA board, teachers and staff, and everyone sitting here. Like, if we're not working together, none of this can obviously happen. Our amazing volunteers that show up every single event for us. And the local businesses and community members that don't question us at all, but just, you know, do what we ask. And yeah, that's it. It's been my privilege this year to work alongside these incredible people and individuals. They have no limits in what they would do to support the school. None. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
You guys are awesome.
Jane, thank you very much. PTA, thank you very much. I mean, having a strong, active PTA who's really interested in providing services for our kids is so instrumental to a school success. And you guys are doing an amazing job. It's like between you and the diversity club, it's like, wow, who's doing more? It's like we've got some really busy groups here, and it's fabulous. Thank you very much for all your input and your hours and your work. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
We have one teacher retiree this year, Elaine Bickley. I saw her husband Frank just come in, so I think this is a really good time to recognize you, Elaine, if you would stand up. Elaine was hired in Springs in 1998 as an elementary teacher after making the decision to change careers after 10 years in business. She started out as a second grade teacher and then requested fifth grade, taught fourth grade, and then helped out with second grade again. And I remember that time very well. She just helped when we needed her the most. But her real skill has been in math AIS, and coordinating the ordering of math books and giving them out every year. She lives locally, so it was easy for her to come by in the summer and make sure we got everything for our teachers on the first day of school. She's inspired many teachers to go into math AIS or to consider math teaching. She's best known though for her law skills. She has taught the tradition here at Spring School for I can't tell you how many years, smelling the halls, teaching her colleagues how to make them. So now it's other classes are trying to beat hers. They won't come close. She's participated in Special Olympics, as you heard. That's a voluntary job. Park fundraising. She's a fierce advocate, wouldn't you say, Mr. Kelt, for her students. Always supporting them to succeed. She's behind the scenes often. She loves gardening and hosting parties at her home nearby. She's a team player and is always willing to cover a class when people are out. I wish her and Frank only the best in retirement. I know he's anxious to do a little bit of traveling. Thank you, Frank, for sharing her with us, and we're going to miss you. Would you like to get the picture?
Oh, yes.
Pat? And then thank you. We're saying goodbye to another individual tonight, Barbara Dayton, Mr. Fredrickson. We also have Bob Vecchio here from Nassau Suffolk School Board, and I would like to say a few words as well.
Not reading messages, this is actually notes I have. Barbara, serving as president of the school board requires an extra amount of volunteer time and responsibility. We want to thank you for your dedication and leadership. On behalf of the Spring School Board of Education, and recognized by the New York State School Board Association, I'd like to present you with this certificate of appreciation for your service of 9 years on the school board. Thank you so much. I'd like to introduce now the Executive Director of the Nassau Suffolk School Boards Association, Mr. Bonnet.
Thank you, everybody. I gotta say, I started my day down in Tribeca, Manhattan. I much prefer coming out here to finish out the day. And it's not my first time. I think the last time I was deep in Nassau County. So, Barbara, on behalf of the officers and the executive committee of the Nassau Suffolk School Board Association, we want to congratulate you and thank you for your years of service. 3 terms through some very trying times. You know, anybody who has served on the board knows that it is the most frustrating, sometimes annoying, time-consuming, most rewarding position we'll ever have. And it's a shared sacrifice with your family, time away from home, meetings, phone calls, emails, maybe social media every now and then, right? But on behalf of all of us who have been there, done that, we thank you, we congratulate you, and thank you for being an outstanding public education advocate. And on behalf of our board, we have a certificate of appreciation and a Nassau Suffolk School Board Association challenge coin that says on the back, thank you for your service.
Can I get the entire board up there? I'll stay there. Thank you.
Thank you very much, everybody, and thank you to my husband who's here in the library, who always made sure I had a dinner when I got home late. Tonight's my last late dinner.
You want to take a picture? Come on up. Let's get a picture.
Yeah.
Come on. Come on, bro.
There you go. Oh, nice to meet you.
You know, it's really been a pleasure serving on the board, and I just thank you to my fellow board members and the administration. People are always very supportive here in the school, and it's been a great experience. So.
Thank you, Barbara. Thank you for everything. Tonight, we're recognizing someone who's also retiring. Assemblyman Fred Thiel is with us. Fred, would you like to stand? From the bottom of my heart, thank you. Since being here at Spring School for 7 years, 6 out of the 7 years, this gentleman has gotten what's called bullet aid or aid in kind for Spring School. That money helped all of these clubs and special events that you just honored tonight. So it's very fitting to recognize you tonight. Our robotics students are here, but before they recognize you, there is something that this community needs to know. When the DEC denied our grant, it was you who said, oh no, they're not going to get away with this. And you corrected them. They spelled Acaponic Harbor wrong.
Oh, that's right.
And couldn't find Springs. It was, you couldn't make it up. But Fred Thiel fought for us, and we received $1.3 million on top of the bullet aid of like $125,000 over the course of 6 years. So thank you, Fred, so much. You made such a huge difference. We have a very short video to show of what you've accomplished here at Spring School.
I better sit down.
Yeah. Next, the robotics teacher.
Assemblyman Theo, thank you for helping to fund the robotics team here at Spring School. It is a great opportunity for students to work as a team, solve problems, and make new friends. Without you, we would not have been able to go as far as we did during each season. We also had a lot of new and fun, exciting experiences. For instance, we had a lot of fun preparing for big competitions. We learned how to code, and we learned how to fine-tune our speaking skills. We made this gift for you. Please accept it as a symbol of our appreciation. We hope you enjoy your time.
This speech goes out to Miss Winter, who is also retiring this year. Miss Winter, our journey through robotics would not have been possible without your support and passion for our teams, and our success would not have been accomplished without your help. With this great program, we like to give you this gift as a token of our mutual love of robotics. You inspired us to keep pushing forward during each season. We understand that when you retire, you will be a judge for First Lego League. This is a great way for you to continue expressing your love for this program. They are very lucky to have you as a volunteer, and we will carry out your love for this program as we continue on our journey.
Toby, you got it. Ooh,
That's why, was it a case? I don't need surprises.
I also just want to offer a few words about Assemblyman Thiel. You are going to be a tremendous voice lost for our entire region. This is a small example of why we do what we do. Right there, what you're holding. Fred has been a passionate advocate and leader for every school district he represents and school districts he doesn't even represent. And you exemplify public service for me. It's always service above self. He's always been a straight shooter, has always told you like it is. Sometimes the news was bad, sometimes it was good. But if you wanted to know what was really going on, he was our go-to resource. And you have been such a tremendous leader up in the state on Long Island for many, many years. And your record speaks for itself. The only thing I could say more about Fred that I don't say a lot about folks from both that work up in Albany, you're a class act and you're a gentleman. We love you. We're going to miss you. And I hope whoever follows your footsteps in the next office can be half the leader that you were, because they'll still be successful because you were that good. So on behalf of our association, it's tough following the kids, I gotta tell you. But just a little token of our appreciation for everything you have done for public education for so many years, and we appreciate it. Thank you. Your community. We have interacted for so many years, and listen, we want to recognize you on behalf of the School Board Association, because school boards work as a governance team, and that governance team doesn't work without a strong relationship with its superintendent. It's a small token of our appreciation, but it's a really cool challenge. And we want to thank you for your service, Deb, and we hope that you start to enjoy your eternal Saturdays, although I suspect you're going to be busy even in your encore retirement.
Yes, it's first robotics.
We'll turn over. And then can we get one of Mr. Field and Ms. Winter as well?
Absolutely.
All right.
That's how you clam it up.
Oh, yeah.
My father taught me not to be afraid to ask the question, not to be afraid to ask for money. What's the worst that someone could say is no. So I owe the fact that I always ask my father.
My one flaw as a public servant is that I never learned how to say no to gentlemen. But I just wanted to, it's such an honor to be here tonight when you're honoring a teacher, the school board president, to be part of that. And the robotics. Yeah, I was driving over here. I was of all the things I was thinking about, especially the robotics club and all the special work that went there. So to have you students make the presentation was really something special for me also. But a teacher, a school board president, we all have in our lives a teacher who made a big difference in our life that we knew from school. For me, it was a guy by the name of Steve Petrus. He was a civics teacher at Pearson High School. He's still alive. He's still getting it done. And my dad was also on a school board in Sag Harbor for 9 years and was the president for a part of the time. So I always say this, that people care about what we do on the town level and what we do on the state level and local governments, but not like they care about their kids' education. This is the hardest job in public service, is to be on a school board. And I just want to thank all of you. It's been a pleasure to work with all of you. Barbara as the president for all these many years. And I'm almost left speechless, which is hard for me. And like Bob, it was very good to be here, to finish the day in Springs. For me, I wasn't in the city. I've been in Albany for most of the last week. Our session ended at 7:15 in the morning on Saturday. I always say this, and I mean it, that, my two favorite sites in the whole world. One is the view of the ocean here on the East End, and the other is Albany in my rearview mirror. And it won't be the last time I see Albany in my rearview mirror, but pretty close. But it's great to be at home. And I just, from the bottom of my heart, thank you to all of you on the school board, the administration, all of you. Thank you so much. I don't really have anything else I can say.
We have a final item of recognition here on our list, and that is the retirement of our superintendent, Deb Winter. So I've been on the board for 9 years, so I guess 7 years. You've been on 7 years. So into my second year here, which was my first year as board president, we had to do a superintendent search, and it was a very interesting process. And we had a consultant working with us. And it was, one of the weightier decisions that a board member makes, because this is the person who's guiding your school on a daily basis. And, we could tell that Deb was someone who had a lot of gumption and a lot of drive and wasn't afraid to go ask for things. And we knew she would be an asset to our school and help us with issues that we had. And, Deb has been an incredible addition to the school. She has been tasked many times by the board with doing difficult and complicated things, and she has never shied away from any requests. She has been an incredibly strong advocate for our children at the school, both within the community and outside of the community. She knows how to network like I've never seen, and when she says she can ask for money, I witnessed that in person at her first New York School Board conference that we went to together. And her kindness and her real love of education and kids comes through to everybody. And so she has been a great leader, getting us through the past 7 years with a building project, which she took on and had inherited, and with COVID and all the other attendant things that go on in a school. Deb, thank you so much for your leadership over these many years. It's been a pleasure having you here, and we value you very highly, and we'll miss you.
Thank you.
Board also has something for you.
Here's a link. Reminding me about flowers. These are for you.
Remember the ospreys when you're hanging out. You can't get away from us.
Okay. Oh my gosh, that's perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
It's been my pleasure and my honor. It really has.
Nice to come here.
This way? No. Sorry. Oh, that's it.
That reminded me, Barbara, that I made you a little parting gift as well.
Those are cookies I like so much. Oh my gosh, Emma, thank
Your
you.
own batch.
Wow, oh, yes, score. Thank you very much. It's been really, that's great, thank you.
Jessica is here now. She arrived for her the poster contest. So I just wanted to bring her up here so you can give her her certificate.
Impressive, Jessica. Very impressive.
Jessica is an exceptional artist, so I just wanted to make sure she had her.
No, it was a very impressive team. They were both very good. Okay, so we've had our PTA update. It's now time for public commentary number 1. If anybody present or on LTV has a comment or question about any of our items of board business, of personnel, finance, or policy, this would be a time to address that. And if not, we will hop right into getting some business done.
Yeah, we have no callers on the line.
Okay.
So we left off on D, we did all our tenure recommendations.
Yes.
We have a resignation, unfortunately, of our maintenance crew leader. I want to publicly thank Kevin Jones for all that he's done. I have to say we are almost completely done with our capital project.
We have to wait and see what happens with the gym floor after it was repaired. But the courtyard is done, some concrete work is done. The roof leaked, the mystery art cell, mystery
art leak,
leak in the
yes.
art room has been resolved,
Like
so.
finally this time?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
okay.
No, it was.
We'll see. I'm not holding my breath, sorry.
But he has been such a tremendous asset and we are gonna miss him, but we wish him well. And then maternity leaves, you have 2 there for our current maternity leaves. Approve the summer appointments. These were done with Nancy's help as well as Mr. Kelt's assistance, Lauren Seaton's help. So we are fully staffed for the summer. We have a Springs Teachers Memorandum there of Agreement. This just gets you through 1 year. And as you know, Nancy will be negotiating. You also have the custodial MOA, which is through June 30th, 2027. You're accepting the resignation of Tom Manger, our current treasurer. L is the appointment of Jonathan LePage as the district treasurer and director of operations. So that will take care of your maintenance area as well as security and transportation, effective July 1st, 2024. As we were doing our end of the year closeouts, we realized that one of our mentors wasn't what had appointed. That was Sean Knight, who mentored Mrs. Vecchio. And one of our club advisors, Laura Dunham, who you accepted a donation of almost $3,000 for the video club.
Right.
She had not been Board of Ed approved to be the advisor. That is all of her. Oh, the bus driver, sorry, I missed H. Agreement for the bus drivers, that's the part-time hourly wage that was just left off their original contract about a year ago.
Right, okay. Any board members have any questions at this time? Do I have a motion to move personnel items A through N to consent agenda?
Make a motion.
Second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Under finance information, you just have your revenue status report and your appropriation status report. No approval is needed there. Under finance for approval, you have A is to authorize the issue of the TANs for $9 million, accept several grants that were received, architectural, agricultural literacy grant. Was that Mrs. Dunham again? Yeah. We have a donation from Mr. John King on behalf of his mom, Susan King, of athletic equipment for the basement. This is the donation, C is the donation from Martyrs that the PTA spoke about and the community, the beautification committee spoke about. There was a donation of stamp books. They're up on the top shelf over there that were donated from Dr. Muki, who wanted them to go to a school. He did not want them sold. He just wanted to donate them. Munistat is making a donation in a form of a scholarship. Accept the donation of acrylic paint sets and brushes from Cindy Ramuno. That went to Mr. Bach and to Mrs. Marino. Accept the donation of yarn from Susan and Janice. You have the claims audit report there for April. And you have the warrants from March and April. You have the approval of the records management manual. It was created by our archivist that we hired and reviewed by our attorneys for compliance with policy and regulation. That's there for you tonight. Approve your joint cooperative bidding with Eastern Suffolk BOCES. That's a yearly appointment. Cummins generator service, that's for our new generator as well as our smaller generator. East Hampton shared service, we participate with East Hampton for our junior high athletics when we can't fully staff a team, we work with them. And then Metro Therapy, the reason you have a 23-24 on there, as well as a 24-25 is that BOCES has been really unable to provide bilingual speech evaluations. And this is Seton found that Metro does have somebody, so we want to get that started sooner than later. And that is notes.
Was there a donation of gym equipment as well?
Yeah, that's under Susan King.
Okay.
There, any other questions from the board right now? Do I have a motion to move finance items A through O to consent agenda?
Motion.
Second. All in favor? Aye.
It is your approval of minutes.
Yep. Be it resolved, the Board of Education hereby approves the minutes from the May 7th regular meeting and budget meeting and the May 21st minutes for the budget vote and election. Do I have a motion?
A motion.
Second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Okay, we have a couple of policy items this month.
We have two policies for approval. Both of them are very timely. That is homeschooled students. There's two different policies there. We chose the policy that does not allow the district to have a student sit for the Regents exam, and we're consistent with East Hampton. That was something the policy committee wanted to be sure that we were consistent with them. The other policy is about alternative instruction. Also, a new policy that is really in place already, so that was important. And that's about a parent who makes a request for alternative instruction for either medical reasons, and that the school district would provide it. The other policies under B do not need to be approved tonight. They're for a first read, and that's school district records, health services, investments, and purchase.
Students with disabilities. Right. 4, 3, 2, 1.
So A has to be approved, Barbara.
What? I'm just looking here. I'm just realizing that the first read, the ones that are listed here is not. First one is 4321, the students with disabilities. I don't actually see that below here. School district records revised.
Yeah.
It's a different policy number on here than the policy that's attached to it.
Right. This group to this group.
Yeah.
Oh, school students with disabilities is missing.
Right. Well, actually, because we have. We have school district records.
The students with disability policy is not attached, Barbara.
Okay, and what is attached is the school district records,
Yes.
which is not listed. So that was, 1120 was not listed, and 4321 does not have the supporting document on there. So, let's see.
You can take both of those off, Barbara, and
Yeah.
bring them back the next time.
Yep. So.
Was that group just first reads
That's
anyway?
first read.
Yeah, they're first reads anyway.
Yeah. So, be it resolved, the Board of Education hereby approves the first read for the following policies: policy 1741, homeschooled students, and policy 4327, alternative instruction. Do I have a motion? Second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. And be it resolved that the Board of Education hereby approves the first read for the following policies: 520 student health services, 6240 investments, and 6700 purchasing. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Second? All in favor? Aye. So students with disabilities and school district records you guys will take care of it the next meeting.
10 is your special ed, except the recommendations from the CSE, CPSE for June 2024.
Be it resolved, the Board of Education hereby accepts the special education CSE, CPSE June 2024 recommendations. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Great. Okay, Superintendent's report, looking at,
I'm going to pass the school calendar over to Nancy. The first charge is your reorganization meeting date.
I'd just like to recommend that our first meeting of this 2024-25 school year, our reorganization meeting will be held July 2nd at 7:00 p.m. And at that meeting, we would then create the dates for our board meetings going forward.
The enrollment report is attached.
Yes.
We need an approval on the July 2nd, Nancy?
Yes.
And it's 7 p.m. No
7 p.m.
We'll know exact beforehand.
No,
as far as we know.
As far as we know, if we do need one, we'll post it.
Okay.
So we need to approve that meeting, you're saying?
Yes, we do.
Okay, be it resolved that the Spring School Board of Education hereby approves July 2nd, 2024 as the reorganizational meeting.
Yes.
Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Second. All in favor? Aye. How's our enrollment? Still active?
It's still active. I mean, your net is the same. It's just a little bit movement in the different grades. Your UPK numbers for the 24-25 school year is at 35. So right now you have room for 36 here, but then Eleanor Whitmore has agreed to take the overflow. The kindergarten numbers are at 62 students with 3 pending.
What were we figuring? What did we have questions at? What did we figure? 70?
Our current kindergarten is at 60.
What did we count for?
For the 3 sections.
We did, okay.
And your high school is still running about 28 in the ICT, which we budgeted for 30, and 10 in the special class, and about 370 some odd in the regular ed. So you're just about there.
Lots of numbers we figured last year. Yes. The so we did a good job last year.
You've had some movement again, more out than in recently, and that tends to be the trend at the high school. We do not know how many are going to graduate. I've asked Sarah to give us that number as soon as she knows how many are going to be returning. And then just for the board, I attached a letter there thanking you for your support, your respect. It was a difficult 7 years, to say the least. I knew I signed on for a project, a capital project, and then COVID hit. And I'm so glad we made some of the decisions that we made to put all our supplies on the grounds, fence it in, put up a camera. But thank you. Without your support, we could not have accomplished half of what we.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, time for public commentary number 2. If anybody here in the audience or anybody at LTV would like to address the board at this time, this is your opportunity.
We have 0 callers at this time.
It's time for public commentary. If you would care to address the board at this time. Oh, please come to the podium and let us know who you are.
Cleared my throat. I'm Deborah Harris. I actually live next door. And so first I want to say thank you to the board and to everyone here, because I love the way that Spring School has maintained its community feel. And I never went to the school. My husband did. My mother-in-law taught here. But I have always loved the school. I love what Deb has poured into the school. And I just want to say, I think there's a place in each of us that we're created to hear the words, well done, good and faithful servant. And I just feel like you've been such a good and faithful servant to this community and all that you've poured into in this school. So I wanted to thank you personally. But I do have a question for the board. I know that you're going to repave this circle out here this year. Do you have a start date for that? Do you know when that's going to take place?
It's going to take place in July, in the first few weeks of July. We don't have the exact date yet.
All right, so my question is, are you going to break up the pavement and replace, like take it down to the bedrock as far as the road goes, or are you just going to repave and smooth what's there? Do you know?
I can't give you those the exact specifications that they're doing. We had people come and look and see what had to be done. It includes the entire loop, some of the curbing, some of the sidewalk and the aprons that are in the front that come up. And those will all be, if it's concrete, it will be repaired. If it's asphalt, it will, some part of the asphalt they're taking off and they'll be doing the whole piece.
Okay.
If you want, I'm sorry, last month's meeting, Sam, our business official, gave him a report on exactly what was being done. I don't have it in front of me, but he gave an exact detail of what we're doing to the driveway out there and the roadway.
I can get the information.
It was at the last month's board
Yeah,
meeting.
that'd be great. The reason I ask is because when this little roadway went in between us, I ended up with 37 cracks in my house and 3 in my foundation because of the vibration of the heavy machinery that came in and pounded the roadbed, and they had to break up the pavement and then, redo the whole thing because they put in all those dry drains, which was a hell for all the water that was pouring off of the school property. But my house is the first thing that absorbs all the energy in the ground of the big machinery. So
if you can get me a phone number too, I'd be happy to get you all that information if you can get me the phone number and also share your concerns with the contractors.
Yeah.
So that you can speak directly with them.
Need to kind of be prepared for what's going to happen this summer, because I don't want to go through another several months of trying to get
understandable,
but the contractor to come and fix what happened to my house. And the other thing is that when the water comes down this way and it turns the corner, because the low spot is right over there, and so it turns and it goes into the driveway, so it's kind of washed out like the driveway. And we need to think of some way to kind of make that water go to the drain. I don't know what that's going to look like. We talked about putting some type of a little barrier across the end of my driveway so the water would just automatically pour into the yard and wash out. I put new stones and things in there, but it's all washed out. So those are things that I just want to make you aware of before this project starts, because as I said, I love the school, I support the school, I like everything that goes on over here, but I don't want to be the one who's having to pick up pieces from the school projects.
Thanks for bringing it to our attention. I appreciate it.
Anybody else here or anybody else calling in from LTV?
We have 0 callers.
Nope. Okay. Very good. Do I have a motion to adjourn the meeting? Second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Great. Thank you very much, everybody.
We have cake.
Okay.
There'll be a lot of cake.